What's happening, guys? Albert here, 5950 wraps. So I'm doing a hood here on a Range Rover. It's an oversized hood. See how it comes all the way down to the side. So I'm looking at about 85 inches, 88 inches of material by a full 60, and it still doesn't quite reach. It's gonna need a little bit of a stretch, and doing that stretch properly is very important. So what I'm gonna do, show you a few tips, tricks, that kind of stuff, and be able to improve your game so that you don't get any stretch marks, anything like that, and so you get a nice smooth flush surface. First of all, prep. Prep is about the most important thing when you're wrapping anything. You want to make sure that the vehicle itself, the surface of the paint, is in as good as condition as possible. This paint was in decent shape. It's a 2011, but it sat out in the sun a lot. It has very low miles, I think somewhere around 40,000 miles on it, but it did sit out in the sun a lot, and it's got some paint damage, just normal wear and tear stuff. So before I did it, I clay barred the hood here, clay barred the whole hood section. Any type of vertical surface like that, the roof, hood, you always want to make sure that it's in really good shape. It's something that you see, stands out, it's right in your face. So it just takes a few minutes to clay bar it properly. You can look up videos on how to clay bar and up your game, give it that true paint-like finish. That's what we're going for here, is having that true paint-like finish. So I go over setting it up. Once you got the size, pull the backing off. This is 3M IJ or 1080 black rose. Want to make sure that the front here matches, or I can get past it and have a little bit of extra room, because I want to be able to go around to that joint in the back side of the hood. I use that as my cut point. It's a natural break in the paint. The body is actually welded together there. So it's a very nice place that you can do it. Makes it look like a paint job. That's the whole goal of what we're doing here with color change vinyl, is to look like a paint job. So instead of getting this old Range Rover repainted and killing whatever value is left in it, because there's no miles on it, the customer just chose to have it wrapped instead. So what I'm doing here is I'm just setting my points, make sure that I'm good both ways, and then as much of the stress is out of here, then I'll take it and get it smoothed out completely all the way around. So my goal in wrapping anything, before I actually start to use a squeegee or any kind of air removal application tool, I want to make sure that it is as smooth as possible, like you can see in that area. That's perfect. Now I can start on that. But with the low tack and the temperature in here, it makes it so that it doesn't hook up real hard. I always leave myself a little extra, especially in the areas that I can. On the top side, I've got about 4 inches extra. The front here, I've got about an inch. So I just continue to work the material. Not pulling too hard on any one particular area. Just working it around like a bed sheet, make it tight. You want to be able to bounce quarters off of it. You shouldn't, it's a customer's car, but you know what I mean. You want that tight look. So right there, pretty much set, ready to go. I always start on the stuff like this. I start in the center, work out. I'm gonna use a wrap glove. This is the new wrap glove. It's got a softer twill. The fabric itself is a little bit softer. It's made to use for wet application, so it doesn't leave any scratches or anything. Mine's just slightly wet. I'm not worried about it. This material I'm gonna have to hit with a heat gun and actually glaze the surface, because you see the modeling that's going on. So check it out as I go along. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. And, or if you have anything that you want to see in particular wrapped, just let me know. All right, so ready to start. Oh, it's dance time. Got a nice clean squeegee. Sprayed the buffer pad, that's what that's for, so it can stay wet. Enables you to squeegee it without leaving any scratch marks or as little as possible. Divide the material. Once again, this is 3M's 1080 series film. It does have a pretty nice air release system with it. So if you get bubbles like that or something, you don't have to freak out. It's not the end of the world, you don't have to pop them. Just work them out. It has channels in the back of it that actually allow that air to escape. It's in the adhesion layer. So you can see, even though I've used a wet buffer, a new buffer, a glove, it still left micro scratches on the surface here. And along with that, it also has the modeling that came from the material, which means it just sat in a roll too long, or is in transit. It's got a lot of weight on that roll, so it happens. So how you deal with this, getting that smooth surface so you get that nice glossy look, is with heat. Watch as the heat gun takes out like this lines. That's just from the roll being compacted and sitting. All right, so a little bit of heat, you can get it to go away. You can see this area is nice and smooth. Scratches are still up here, that kind of stuff. And that's gonna happen on any type of high gloss material, especially darker stuff, you'll see it. Fortunately, I live in South Florida. We live in a heat gun here. So all I have to do is park it outside before the customer comes to pick it up, and it will look perfect. So I'm not really worried about it. I just wanted to show you guys that there is ways to actually get rid of it. You can use a torch or heat gun. I recommend a heat gun for that, just because, well, until you're very comfortable with the torch, then you're welcome to do it. Don't want to burn up your Ferrari or nothing. So as I sink this channel, I'm gonna wanna make sure that I go behind it with my squeegee and get those areas, because I'm pushing here, which leaves from here to here still a gap of air. There's also gonna be a gap of air on this outside edge. So even though on this ridge it looks nice and tight, you wanna make sure that you push that out. Any kind of air will allow it to come back later and be able to pop as it gets hot and cold and expands and contracts. It will actually pop and you'll have a big gap. Alright, so keeping it wet. By far my favorite squeegee of all. It's Yellow Tools little triangular one. Seems to be able to get perfect amount of force, has some flex. Everything about it, I love it. I've tried millions of squeegees. I have a huge squeegee addiction problem. And this seems to be my all-time favorite, my go-to. So, and it comes with multiple buffers. So you can change out buffers regularly. They're inexpensive. And it keeps your wrap looking frosty. You want to make sure that you're not using an old busted squeegee trying to do a finished paint job. Paint replacement wrap like this. A true color change, your main goal is you want people to assume that it's paint. Nice thing about a glove also is that you can run your hands across it afterwards. Make sure that you don't feel any bubbles. Anything that's there, even if you don't see it, you'll feel it. So use your hands as a second pair of eyes. I'm actually going to cut in these letters because time frame, I didn't have a chance to order new letters for them. So I will take the time to actually cut out the letters. Something in most cases you can just go and order a new set of letters and it's cheaper than spending your time doing it, but it does take time to get them. Or just remove them in general if the customer's cool with that. That all depends on the customer though. Make sure you discuss it with them first. Also, you can give them the option to get the black ones, get custom ones. You can have them custom painted, anything like that. That's pretty much it. Show you some of the finishing techniques of going around the edges when I get there and ways to make it look as much like a paint job as possible. Thanks for watching. Once again, Albert, 5950 Wraps. Hit me up if you have any questions. Just let me know if you want to see anything particularly wrapped. Gotcha.